what I'm going to do very much like this technique is, I'm going to run it through one time so you can see it. And I'm going to ask you specific questions about it. So I want you to watch it. How many times do you think you've seen that portion of the video?
A couple times.
Well, you've only seen it a couple of times?
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times. Like,
Maybe
not more than 10. Just a few times.
Is it a couple or is it 10?
I said I have not seen the video 10 times. So that's why I said a couple times. I've only seen the video a couple times.
When's the first time you saw the video?
To be honest, the first time I seen the video was on TMZ.
Does the video that you just saw, does that accurately depict, as much as you can remember, what happened?
Yes, but no.
Okay, can you explain what you mean by that?
Because from the video, you see Rocky with the prop in his hand. You also see Rocky put the prop away. You feel me? But you don't see how the prop gets into his hand.
Okay. Do you agree, having watched the video, that it shows Relli walking up and immediately being accosted by Mr. Mayers?
Can you rephrase that?
Let's show the very beginning. Pause it. So I'm going to ask you, in a moment, I'm going to ask you, who was it, Relli or the defendant, who ended up starting this exchange?
No
So
problem.
I want you to watch. Go ahead. Go back one more time. Stop. Would you agree that you've got the defendant reaching towards Relli and the defendant, you've got the defendant reaching towards Relli and Relli grabbing the defendant's hand or arm in response?
No, what I see is Relli putting his hand up. So he moves it from his back, and then he automatically goes to grab Rocky. That's what I see.
Okay, keep going with the video, please. Stop. Would you agree that what you just saw was the defendant holding on to Relli, and Relli has a free right hand, which was available to strike the defendant, which he does not do? Would you agree?
I agree.
Okay, keep going. Stop. Would you agree that that shows Relli being pushed by the defendant?
I'm not gonna say push because they're both grabbing on each other, trying to assert like balance, a stance.
Well, let me ask you something. You've indicated how strong the defendant is, how strong Relli is.
Yes.
How strong the defendant. If the defendant, if Relli, based on your experience with him, had wanted to attack the defendant, had wanted him to push him back, and wanted to hit him, you would agree Relli is big enough and strong enough to have done that, right?
I agree.
Okay, keep going. Stop. That's you, correct?
No, that's
Oh,
not.
I'm sorry, that's Illz, excuse me. I apologize. That is ASAP Illz, right?
Yes.
And go back. What did you just see Illz do in the video?
I see Illz trying to defuse the situation, get in between them, and like basically get Relli and Rocky off each other. Because right before you hit this clip, you can see Relli with both his hands around Rocky's neck, or his hoodie, or whatever, right there.
And you're saying you have this independent memory of exactly what's on the video?
That's
Stop. From the only 2 or 3 times you watched it?
no, I just seen that.
Oh, okay. Let's back this up a little bit, please.
Like,
Watch. So I want you to watch Illz. Stop. Isn't it true, Mr. Phillips, that Illz is trying to get Rocky off of Relli, is trying to get between them, is trying to push him back, and that the defendant continues to go towards Relli?
Objection, Your Honor, is a compound motion.
Wait a second.
It's compound, sustain.
All right, I was trying to speed it up, Your Honor. I'll do one at a time then. Okay, back it up. What does Relli do? Stop. Right now, would you agree, Illz is grabbing the defendant who is between he and Relli. Illz is not between the two of them. The defendant is between. Is that correct?
no, because this is Rocky on one end, Relli is on the other end. Illz has both his hands basically getting in the middle to break it up.
Wait a minute. Can you point with the pointer there? Point to where Illz is. Point to where the defendant is. Point to where Relli is.
Right there.
So how can you say that Illz is between the defendant and Relli when Illz is on the other side of the defendant?
Because if there's a person standing here and a person standing here, he's trying to get in the middle of it.
So I didn't ask you what he was trying to do. Listen to my question.
But he is getting in the middle.
Do you agree that this video shows Illz not between the defendant and Relli, but behind the defendant, grabbing him?
He's not behind the defendant.
He is. So it's your belief that this video does not show Illz behind the defendant?
No.
Okay? Let me go back slightly. Stop. You agree Relli has just gone off the screen, correct?
Yes.
You agree that the defendant is pushing him off the screen, correct?
He was pulling Rocky.
Okay. So whether he's pulling or pushing, do you agree that Illz is not between the two of them?
This isn't the same clip that you showed me before, but right here, he's behind.
Okay, so right now you agree Illz is behind, right?
It was behind right here.
Okay, now we're gonna keep the clip going. Stop. Is Illz still behind?
See, now, Illz is behind him, trying to pull him away from Relli. And in this photo, you can see Relli with his hand around Rocky.
Okay, you just said a second ago, in this image at this point, Illz is trying to pull the defendant off of Relli, correct?
In this image, he's trying to get the defendant off of Relli, while Relli is grabbing the defendant by his neck.
Listen to my question. In this image, do you agree that it shows Illz trying to get the defendant off of Relli, yes or no?
I'm not saying no. I don't think he's trying to get him off because you don't see Rocky a certain dominance right here. So I think he's just trying to get in the middle.
Most strike is non-responsive?
Ask another question.
Keep the video going. Stop. Would you agree that at this point in time, there is no attempt where you have seen Relli trying to punch, kick, slap, do anything to the defendant?
So if you play it from the clip before, you can obviously see him choking. So a few seconds later, no, he's not choking, but he was choking.
Wait, so your testimony is now, we missed, he was choking, Relli was choking the defendant, is your testimony.
That's, if you want to play the video back, you can see it.
Have you ever mentioned before this moment in court that you saw Relli choking the defendant?
What I said was,
Wait, answer my question, please. Have you ever said before this moment in court, ever, that you saw Relli choking the defendant?
no, because I never seen.
Motion to strike, everything after no? Do you agree that Relli at this point in time does not have either of his hands on the defendant?
Correct.
Do you agree that Illz at this point in time is not paying any attention to Relli and is looking forward, trying to get the defendant separated because he's coming after Relli?
Objection, Mark. Also speculation. Still.
Please quit. Stop. Do you agree that what you just showed shows Illz backing Relli up?
Yes.
Would you agree that as with the defendant, that Relli is considerably bigger and stronger than Illz as well?
Yes.
Do you agree that knowing Relli and knowing Illz and knowing the strength between them, that if Relli had wanted to go forward and go after the defendant, that he had the ability at that point?
Possibly.
Possibly? I'm asking you, from what you've seen, does it look like Relli is in any way trying to go after the defendant?
Right then and there, you see his hand coming around him, so I'm not too sure what he was going to do.
So, at this point in time, do you know if the defendant already has the gun out?
No.
You don't know.
No.
Let's run it, please. Did you see the gun?
Play it.
You can see right, you see the gun in his hand?
I see the prop in his hand, yes.
Do you see the gun in his hand?
Yes.
At this point in time, would you agree that the defendant is aggressively going towards Relli with a gun in his hand, and that Illz is trying to keep the defendant from making contact with Relli?
Can you rephrase that?
Would you agree that at this point in time, the defendant has a gun in his hand, is moving aggressively toward Relli, and that Illz is trying to prevent Relli from getting close to the defendant? I'm sorry, it's trying to prevent the defendant from getting close to Relli.
You have to rephrase it because
That's my fault.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you agree, at this point in time, the defendant has a gun in his hand? Agree?
Okay.
Agree? Say yes?
Yes.
And do you agree that at this point in time, that the defendant is aggressively moving towards Illz and Relli?
Well, in this clip, because Relli was already grabbing him and kind of like, trying to little boy him, you feel me? So I just see Rocky just trying to get himself out of the corner. You know, just trying to get himself out of the corner, get himself from out of here. I'm not too sure what else is right here. You know, he could have been backed up against the side of the garage wall. And he was just trying to get himself up out of that situation.
So you're saying the defendant is trying to get himself out of a bad
He's
situation?
just trying to get himself up out of here. You know, he doesn't have the prop on Relli. He's not pointing the prop at Relli. He's not doing anything like that. So
Let me ask you something. At this point in time, can't the defendant simply have gone the other way and exited himself from the situation?
Objection, full speculation.
You were at the scene.
yes, I was.
When the defendant is moving towards Relli with a gun, was there anything preventing the defendant, as is shown in the video, from turning around and going the other way?
As you can see in the video, I'm not too sure how long this lasts. He does that exactly as soon as he's able to get up out of this space.
So it's your position that the defendant did not have the opportunity to go the other way, is that?
No, because Relli pushed him under the garage. The garage it's like it was built under something, so you can't walk through the wall. He had to wait till he got from under the garage so he could be able to get up out of there.
You agree that in this image that you've seen, and you were at the actual incident, the defendant has his finger on the trigger, correct?
No.
So you don't see his finger on the trigger in this video.
I do not see that.
Well, let's run it again. Do you agree that it appears that the defendant's finger is on the trigger?
I see his hand is on the prop. I cannot tell you if his finger is on the trigger. No.
So, at this point in time, is this when Relli yells, "Put that fake gun away"?
So as Rocky starts turning, yes, he says, "Put that fake ass gun away."
And your position is, I just want to be clear, that at this point in time, when that gun comes out,
Yes.
Relli knows it's a fake gun.
Yes, I believe that.
Okay,
Yes.
continue. Stop it. Do you know what the defendant did with the gun after he pulled it out when they go off frame?
In this clip or another clip?
No, just listen to what I'm saying. You just saw the defendant take out the gun.
Yes.
You saw the defendant then go forward, which would be to the left of this video, so we don't see him. He goes off screen. You know what I mean by that, right?
Yes.
Do you know what the defendant did with the gun that he just pulled out when he went off screen?
Well, as you can see, he put it back into his waistline and he was leaving.
When did you see him put it back?
Well, when I was there, during this altercation, he put it back. It wasn't even out that long.
Well, so what I'm asking you is, play the image where he pulls it out. I'm almost, Your Honor, I can break in a 2 minutes if the court needs. So the gun is out.
Yes.
My question is not what did he do when he put it back. He pulled the gun out and he goes off screen towards Relli. What did he do with the gun when he went off screen?
Can you show me that again and rephrase that? Because
Yes.
I didn't see him going off the screen going towards Relli.
Watch. There he is, off the screen. He had the gun. So my question, do you know what he is doing with the gun at this point when we can't see him off screen?
Well, the gun is still down. He's still trying to put it back into his waistline.
Wait, so you're saying this video we've just seen shows him putting the gun back?
Look, can we rewatch the video?
Sure. I'm not talking about when he comes back. I'm saying at this point in time, you agree. What's that?
I didn't.
Witness has to rewatch the video.
Just watch it.
You know, you just pause it. I'm trying to watch the whole video.
No, I'm not showing the whole video, I'm showing the part I want to show.
Nah, so can you show it in context? It shows when he puts the
No,
proper way?
Mr. Phillips, I'm going to show you what I want to show you.
So go
So,
ahead, show Mr. Phillips what you want.
I just showed you that image, and my question is, you would agree that the defendant takes a gun out, the gun is out, they go off screen with the gun still out. So what I'm asking you is, do you know what the defendant did with the gun when they went off screen?
Yes, he was still trying to put it back in his waistline. The gun was down, so I believe he was trying to put it in his front belt, but he couldn't. So that's when he turned around, he readjusted it, put it to like the top.
Wait, so your testimony is that he pulled the gun out, and then immediately after pulling the gun out, tried to put it back.
He didn't pull the gun out. So, like I said, from him getting pulled by Relli, his clothes weren't secure. So his clothes weren't secure, the prop clip wasn't secure. You feel me? So he didn't pull it out. He's a dominant right hand. He would have pulled it out with his right hand, I'm guessing. Here, he's using his left hand to adjust it the whole time.
So you saw the gun out, correct? You saw the gun out of the clip, correct? The gun gets removed.
I seen it, only seen it when he was trying to adjust it back into his clothes.
Last thing to show you, I want you to see when the gun first comes out, when we see it on the screen. Gun is already out the first time we see it. So you're watching, gun is stopped, the gun is out right now, do you agree?
Yes,
It's in the defendant's hand, do you agree?
yes.
You're not telling us that the gun fell out of the clip and just happened to go in his hand, right?
The gun, it would have fell on the floor. It's inside his pants. And it's a clip. So I feel as though he grabbed it while it was falling. He just grabbed it with his hand, just to secure it. He's not pulling it out, he's not pointing it. He's actually trying to secure it and keep it down.
So your testimony is,
Finish the thought.
your testimony is that his pants were falling down, and so he reached back to get his pants up and grabbed the gun accidentally to prevent his pants from coming down, and that's why the gun is out. That's your testimony?
Can you rephrase that?
So your testimony is that the reason the gun came out was because his pants were falling down, and so he reached back to try and make sure his pants didn't come down and unintentionally grab the gun.
Yes.
We can resume on Monday, Your Honor.
All right, folks, please be outside the courtroom doors. Everybody, can we start at 10?
Sure, whatever you want.
All right. 10 o'clock, everybody? I know it's 10 o'clock. All right. Okay, all right. We'll resume at 10 o'clock on Monday. Please don't discuss the case.